Hey everyone, it's Steve. Many of you probably noticed that I did not put a video out on Valentine's Day, and the reason was I pushed all of my videos back a few days so I could work on this one. This video will be discussing, in part, something serious that happened within the YouTube community recently, as well as to talk about the overall impact of how a lot of us interpret relationships. Again, this video will be on a serious topic, and I do encourage everyone to listen all the way through to the end. In late January, a New Mexico man drove 11 hours to Austin, Texas, and broke into the home of Gavin and Meg Turney. Gavin is widely known for his role with Rooster Teeth and the Slow-Mo Guys, and Meg is known for her Twitch streaming, cosplay, and vlogs. Police reports and stories from news outlets in both Austin and Albuquerque report they were awakened by the sound of a gunshot and hid while the man, who I will not identify in this video, searched for them. Gavin confirmed on Monday's RT podcast that Austin police were there in 4 minutes, and news outlets in Austin report the man was killed after opening fire on officers, what's commonly referred to as an officer-involved shooting. Gavin and Meg also thanked people and APD on Twitter after details of what happened were released. Now, I've seen the police reports on what happened, and it's some scary shit. I won't be talking about the incident details in this video. I also will not be posting links to local news stories in the description because they offer what I feel are too many details about the victims. I want to make one thing incredibly clear. What this man did is in no way acceptable. TubeFilter, which was the first place I saw the news, mentioned how Zoe Sugg and Alfie Diaz, as well as Jenna Marbles and Julian Solomita, have urged fans in the past to not show up at their homes.
Please don't come to our house. Just please don't do it. There are so many other ways that you can connect with us that are appropriate and not, wrong, uncomfortable, setting a terrible example for your kid.
As far as I know, Gavin and Meg have never put their home address in a video, and I believe it serves as a bit of a buffer between really any YouTube creator and their audience. Think of how musicians during a concert have a gap between the crowd and the stage, that safety buffer. There are a lot of YouTubers who put their face in with their videos, but I'm not comfortable doing it. I have all the components in place to do it. I just have to check a little box in OBS and you'll see a picture of my face in with any of my videos. But I don't plug in my webcam. Before I started creating videos for YouTube, I was on television for more than 3 years in local news in 2 small markets. In my first job, I was only recognized outside of work when I was at my gym, and that was because the station paid for all of us to have gym memberships there. I also rarely went out because my social circle was almost exclusively my coworkers. In my second market, I usually went out with the people on a similar shift as me, but I never went out to a bar by myself. It was very weird the first time I was recognized, and it was in my neighborhood's grocery store. An older woman stopped me and said she liked watching my station and liked my work. I was so shocked at it actually happening, I really only could say, "Thanks for watching," before I scurried away off to another aisle. The people working at the checkouts recognized me over time, and they treated me like any other customer. Looking back now on that first time being recognized, and a few others that happened in subsequent months, I guess I saw it as sort of a price I had to pay to be in local news. It isn't something mentioned on the outset when somebody signs a deal to get into the TV news industry. But everyone who is on air with your local news affiliate has given up some of that safety buffer. Like what happened with Gavin and Meg, people have violated that safety buffer for journalists. Every TV news station I've worked for has had booking photos of people who have gone too far in seeking the attention of on-air talent. Disproportionately, people target female anchors, reporters, and meteorologists. I think every woman who was on air at my last station was notified by police and or management at some point that they had a stalker. And that's what this is, stalking. These people actively seek out private information about the personal lives of YouTubers, reporters, actors, social media personalities, and try to insert themselves into the lives of their targets. This is not okay. KVUE, the ABC station in Austin, spoke with UT Associate Professor Dr. Angeline Close-Scheinbaum as part of their coverage of what happened with Gavin and Meg, and she said the case fits into something called parasocial interaction. When I started writing the script for this talk, I didn't know what the term meant. I found the following information on a neighboring term, parasocial relationships, from findapsychologist.org. Quote, parasocial relationships are one-sided relationships where the person extends emotional energy, interest, and time, and the other party, the persona, is completely unaware of the other's existence. Parasocial relationships are most common with celebrities, organizations such as sports teams, or television stars. It added, quote, now, these relationships also occur between individuals and their favorite bloggers, social media users, and gamers. The nature and intimacy of parasocial relationships has also matured. Reality television allows viewers to share the most intimate and personal lives of television personas, and celebrities openly share their opinions and activities through various social media outlets such as Twitter and Facebook. The earliest use I could find of the term parasocial interaction dates back to a paper written by Donald Horton and Richard Wohl in 1956 while discussing mass media. My understanding of this is that almost all of us have had a parasocial interaction at one time or another. During football season, I admittedly get upset and yell at the TV when my team makes a stupid play, or during baseball season when my favorite player can't hit the ball and leaves 2 runners on base. Some people might call out a TV character for doing something reckless or get upset when a beloved character dies. The Tube Filter article also mentioned the June 2016 murder of YouTuber and musician Christina Grimmie in Orlando during a meet and greet following one of her concerts. If you go back over the last 40 years or so, you can find several high-profile examples of a parasocial relationship or mental illness manifesting itself in violence towards celebrities. John Lennon was killed by a crazed fan in December 1980. The assassination attempt of President Ronald Reagan in March 1981 was carried out by a man trying to impress actress Jodie Foster. Actress Teresa Saldana was stabbed multiple times by her stalker in front of her West Hollywood home in March 1982. She survived her injuries. Selena, the queen of Tejano music, was murdered by the founder of her own fan club in March 1995. Dimebag Darrell, one of the founding members of Pantera, was essentially executed while performing in Ohio in December 2004. Model and actress Rebecca Schaeffer was murdered in 1989 in the doorway of her own home by her stalker of 3 years. Her death spurred the criminalization of stalking in California the following year, with the rest of the United States following in subsequent years. While these are examples of a parasocial relationship with a negative outcome, there are positive parasocial relationships as well. The best example I can think of is celebrating its 50th anniversary on February 19, 2018. Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. In each show, Fred Rogers would talk directly to a children's audience about various issues, including anger, war, divorce, and even death. Now, I'm just scratching the surface about parasocial interactions and parasocial relationships. There's a lot of information available online about this topic, and I encourage you to do some reading about it. I'm going to close out this video by recommending you watch Dr. Jennifer Barnes' TED Talk about parasocial relationships. She holds degrees in psychology, psychiatry, and cognitive science. Dr. Barnes is also a Fulbright scholar working at the University of Oklahoma and has written more than a dozen young adult novels. The link to her talk is in the description for this video. Thank you all for watching. I shall see you all in the next video.